So we got another recall. And this time, it's medication, dog food, and snacks. If you read the on-screen, yes, because of rodent feces and rodent urine. Fool, that's sick. They say over 2,000 items have been recalled because of that. So if you got any of these products and you lived in the area of Minnesota, North Dakota, and Indiana, you might want to,
Alexa, how many days to Christmas 2026?
No way.
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
Alexa, how many days until Christmas 2026?
No.
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
She looks up on top of the doors and realizes that there is a super magnetic bolt inside of the woman's bathroom's door.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here to the channel, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, that's gonna make us question everything. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Say with me, y'all. Seek the truth.
See things. This long name, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, is a species of sponge that's found in the Antarctic Ocean and has an estimated lifespan of over 15,000 years. 90% of the population lives in the northern hemisphere. The International Space Station is going to fall onto Earth in 2030. Fender Guitars did a survey in 2019 that told us that 90% of new guitar players give up within the first year, while the remaining 10% end up investing more than $10,000 on gear throughout their entire lifetime. As a joke highlighting the historic rivalry between Sweden and Denmark, the only IKEA products named in Danish are doormats and other items that you walk on. Blue raspberry flavor is actually usually created using flavor compounds from pineapples, bananas, cherries, and then they add blue coloring to distinguish it from cherry, strawberry, and watermelon flavors. Okay. 30% of adults and nearly half of all children grind their teeth in their sleeves.
And says, if
Wow.
you see this symbol right here, run for your life.
Okay, I'm about to expose something real quick because I need y'all to pay attention. If y'all don't pay attention to this, you're not going to get it. Do y'all see this First Baptist Church right here, right?
Yep.
And this big old building, this recreation gym. They have this church office and this Mac gym, right? I'm about to show y'all something. I'm about to show y'all something that's going to blow your mind. I'm going to show y'all what's behind this church. Hold on. Yep. Just as expected.
What is
And
that?
the thing is, right, what I'm doing right now is very dangerous by exposing this, but y'all need to understand something. If you don't know what this is, if you don't know what this symbol is, if you ever see that symbol and you're trying to go to a church, run for your life. Run for your life. You do not ever want to see this. Ever. Like I said, y'all, just because they call themselves Christians or they believe in God, what God do they believe in? What God do they serve? Y'all need to do your research, because what I'm showing y'all right now is important. If you go to any churches and you see these symbols, run. Get out as quick as you can. Stay weird. I love y'all. Shalom.
Have you ever been to Disneyland? Have you ever feared for your life? Well, after you watch this next clip, you might think twice before going. And why do I say that? Because during an Indiana Jones live show at Disneyland, a 400-pound boulder that's used in the show to chase Indiana Jones ended up coming off of the track and heading straight for the crowd. And what happened next will scare the heck out of you. Viewer discretion is advised. Take a look at this. Check this out. There's Indy. Here comes the boulder. Off the track, straight for the audience. Check out the cast member right there. Takes one for the team. The Disney cast member is being called a hero. Why? Because that ball right there weighs 400 pounds. And if it would have continued its trek through the audience, there were young people sitting in the front and they could have been seriously injured. The cast member himself was struck in the face, requiring 6 stitches to close him up. Thankfully, he had no further injuries and was able to go home. Luckily for the people in the crowd, he was there and acted quickly because it could have turned tragic. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Hey, that Disney, I ain't gonna lie, they owe him a big check, bro. Cause he realized he saved their asses, man. Yeah, bro.
Sliced open a giant cockroach, squeezed inside, and sealed yourself in. Could you survive a deadly nuclear fallout? Well, when a nuke explodes, the radiation travels through the air. But as it passes through different materials, it loses concentration, meaning it will eventually run out. Now, cockroaches are mostly made of water, which would quickly block the radiation. And it would only have to be about the size of a minivan to protect you. But the heat from the explosion would still boil the cockroach's blood, roasting you right inside its body.
If you're in school, I feel terrible for you. This might have gone too far now. Holy shit. Some schools are starting to scrap the normal CCTV cameras in your hallway and install full AI systems and cameras even in the damn bathrooms. Yep, they are literally installing these AI cameras and also AI systems which literally scan everything that the pupils do. You may have seen in China recently they brought in these headsets which the students have to wear. It tracks their movements and if they're actually paying attention or not. Wild. But what these new AI systems in schools are going to do is track whether there's a threat. Yeah, the AI surveillance will basically work like a built-in ChatGPT to the school, but will track everything that happens, if there's strange sounds, if someone is acting a bit suspicious while in the bathroom, or anything like that. But of course there is a huge amount of privacy concerns, because how is there AI being allowed in a bathroom with underage children in it? A lot of parents are actually agreeing with this, saying this makes schools so much safer because they're going to be able to catch things with the AI detection before anything bad could happen. But as I say, a lot of people are saying this is absolutely not on because it's an invasion of privacy. In the Beverly Hills High School, this was being trialled and it's basically ruled out across the school, and it's going to be coming to more across the US and the world in the soon future.
You gotta fight back against that, bro. AI in the bathroom? That's a bad idea, man. All it takes is just one person to get access to the information, and it's game over, bro. That's like a lawsuit waiting to happen. People are not using their brains, bro. I can't believe that they're actually doing this, and that it's rolled out in the schools, I guess, allegedly, currently right now. Crazy world, bro.
Myth that says you should never Google yourself, and this is why. Before an important ice skating competition, a girl named Nora Petrova decided to Google herself out of curiosity to see what other people see when they look her up. When she did so, she discovered a Wikipedia page dedicated to her and her successful career as an ice skater. And to her surprise, the page indicated that she would win the competition the following day. The next day came and went, and she did in fact win the ice skating competition, and the Wikipedia page just continued to prove her success time and time again. But with a new competition just months away, she decided to try something new. She tried editing the Wikipedia page herself to see if she could control the outcome. And that's when her nightmare began. Not only was she blocked from editing the page, but this time it was modified to say some pretty nasty things about her. Months later, she checked the page again, and this time it was updated with this horrible prediction that both of her parents would die in a terrible accident. And sure enough, days later, she's notified that her parents are dead. She then suffers an emotional breakdown that she's hospitalized for.
Christmas holidays in 2026.
Really? Come on!
Alexa, how many days until Christmas 2026?
No.
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
Alexa, stop playing around. What do you mean there's no Christmas holiday in 2026?
I don't know.
What are you talking about, Alexa? Because two different people asked you that. And you said that there will be no Christmas in 2026. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purpose only. I don't believe nothing that Alexa's talking about because she was programmed to say that. Shut up! I don't know, guys. Check it out for yourself. Here's what people are saying. I want to know. I don't use Alexa because Alexa be saying things to me that I don't like. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't got you. No, what time is it? Shut up! Listen. I don't know what's going on here, guys, and I can't predict the future because I'm in 2025 like you're in 2025, right? But Alexa seems to be saying things that are not true, right? But let's not forget, guys, we're just playing around because 2026 is right around the corner. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't got you. No, what time is it? Shut up! But I'll tell you one thing. if I ever ask Alexa myself, will there be a Christmas in 2026? And she says no, you gotta go, Alexa.
You know the history of why they drive on the left side of the road? How it started, because everyone in the whole world was on the left side since the Romans. So the Romans, they would ride on the left side of the road because the dominant hand was the right hand. And so that would be, you could take your sword out and joust,
Your neighbor.
get the guy that's riding this way. And then someone came along.
Oh no, who was it?
I want for us to ride on the right side of the road.
Left side? I don't like it.
And his name was Napoleon.
No!
Really?
He was left-handed. Yeah, on out, right side of the road, because works for me better. And so for even England was right side of the road, and they didn't convert back into the left side of the road until like it was like 1883 or something.
Oh my
Why do you convert back?
Because they were basically like they hated Napoleon so much.
Oh, so it's just trying to cut time.
Wait, why are we doing this? And so they're like, we're going back to the left hand, or the left hand.
So they're just being stubborn at that point. It's like, I will show you.
It's so over for Igbo Noah. The Ghanaian man who wrongly predicted a Christmas apocalypse has been arrested. And before we start, anyone now saying this?
Igbo Noah, Dilepe's best friend, has been arrested.
Bro, what? Why is he my best friend now? Anyone saying that? Shush. Now, local media report that he was picked up by Ghana's special cyber vetting team as part of their crackdown on individuals online making public declarations and prophecies that could cause fear or public disorder.
Father, I am crying.
Now, they haven't actually publicly detailed the allegations against Igbo Noah, nor have they stated any formal charges, court dates, or bail conditions. But right before bro was arrested, he was even doing brand deals and selling iPhones. How could we be best friends?
So we got another recall. And this time, it's medication, dog food, and snacks. If you read the on-screen, yes. Because of rodent feces and rodent urine. Fool. That's sick. They say over 2,000 items have been recalled because of that. So if you got any of these products and you lived in the area of Minnesota, North Dakota, and Indiana, you might want to check the date on when this recall happened, because yeah, they want you to throw that shit out. It wasn't just Jerry running around dropping feces. It was also Tweety Bird too. Tweety Bird was dropping the feces too. If you happen to have a flu or a cold and you picked up some of this medicine and it was affected with the feces and shit, you're not just fighting the flu, you fighting the rat and bird DLC pack. So they said this facility was in Minnesota and that junk was filthy, fool. Like you walk in that junk and you can see the droplets happening real time. So I don't understand how they let this shit happen. Because they let this shit happen.
Theory from Marty Supreme fan. Oh my god, one of the biggest theories that I found, the whole thing was a metaphor for selling your soul. Do you remember that rich guy?
Yeah.
He told Marty, I want you to bend over and give me a pickpocket rack.
So you can humiliate him.
In front of everyone.
That was his humiliation ritual.
Yes. What do the elites do? They all link up in a room and they probably do the same.
They do the
with
same
like celebrities, you know what I mean? After, if you guys didn't back, Marty couldn't beat the Japanese player. This whole time, right? He does the humiliation. He gets He goes to Japan, finally fries the guy in a 1v1 match. The only time he won, just cause he sold his soul.
They showed when you're so desperate, when he lost money and he was in a tough spot, he had to go back to the billionaire and go, hey, you know what, I'm gonna take your deal.
Yeah.
So that's how these deals kind of work. They try to get you when you have no other choice, guys. It brings money, fame, success that he was looking for, but in reality, that's not even necessary to survive.
And then that's what the baby showed. It's like, damn, I did all that. This is my real purpose now.
There's nothing.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Crazy.
Matter of fact, I want you to prove me wrong. January is not the real New Year. The real New Year is in March. Specifically, the spring equinox. That's when the calendar actually makes sense. That's when nature resets. That's when things start moving again. January, that's just vibes and paperwork. It's cold. It's dark. Everybody is broke. Everybody is tired. Everybody is lying to themselves about going to the gym when you know you're not. That's not a fresh start. That's recovery. The spring equinox is when the days get longer. The sun comes back, the energy shifts, and the world literally wakes up. Ancient civilization knew this. Astrology knew this. Nature knows this. Only modern society said, nah, Let's start the year when everybody is depressed. So all these fake deadlines and fake January New Year's resolutions, this is why people quit everything by February. You're trying to reboot your life in survival mode. March is when momentum actually exists. Plans stick, habits form, energy lines up. That's when you build. January is just for thinking. Save the real goals for March. That's the real New Year. That's the real reset.
So now March, bro, that's the true reset, bro. Because we had that equinox, man, that messed us up. That's crazy if you think about it, man. You're hitting your same arrow to your New Year's goals, bro. Just to find out, man, that it's really, it starts in March, bro. I'm going to do a deep rabbit hole into that one, man.
Just unveiled a human washing machine that cleans, massages, and dries you in 15 minutes. And it's going on sale right now for about $500,000. This is the Mirai Human Washing Machine, a 2.5 meter automated capsule where you lie down while ultra-fine microbubbles, invisible to the naked eye, penetrate your pores to remove dirt, dead skin, and sebum. The machine uses sensors to monitor your heart rate and vital signs, while AI adjusts the water temperature and plays relaxing music, then automatically dries you when it's done. This concept actually debuted at the 1970 Osaka Expo, and the CEO saw it as a child, spending 6 years developing this modern version that just launched at the 2025 Osaka Expo. The catch is, it costs 60 million yen, which is between $385,000 and $560,000, and they're deliberately limiting production to just 40 to 50 units to preserve rarity, with the first buyer being an unnamed Japanese hotel. This is designed exclusively for commercial use in luxury hotels, spas, and resorts, not for homes, addressing Japan's aging population and labor shortages in care industries. But at that price point, this represents extreme inequality, where only wealthy venues can afford automated care, while the technology that could help elderly people remains completely inaccessible to those who actually need it. This is impressive automation meeting Japan's bathing culture, but it's more about because we can than because we should, likely remaining a niche luxury unless costs drop dramatically. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and comment below. Follow for more stories like this.
Have you guys heard of the man who married his girlfriend's adopted daughter? There's so much controversy around the story because not only did he marry her, but he was also accused of essaying his own daughter for years. In the 1970s, Mia Farrow, an American actress, adopted 3 children with a man she married named Andre Previn. One of those kids was Soon Yi. Mia and Andre got divorced in 1979, and shortly after, Mia meets a 43-year-old man named Woody Allen, a filmmaker, producer, and actor. Woody tells Mia that he didn't want to be a father figure to her adopted children, which she agreed, and they continued their relationship. However, he does spend a lot of time with Mia's children, and at this point, Soon Yi is 10 years old. Then in 1985, Woody tells Mia that he wants to adopt the child with her, but allegedly, he specifically asked that they adopt a girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. And that's when Dylan was adopted. Fast forward 7 years later, Woody is 56 and Soon Yi is 21, and her mother finds explicit photos taken by Woody of Soon Yi. Around the same time, Dylan is now 7 years old, and she confides in her mother and tells her that her father, Woody, was essaying her. Mia ends the relationship, reports Woody for essaying Dylan, but nothing was ever done. And even though there was speculation that Soon Yi and Woody's relationship began years before she became an adult, there was never really an investigation. Soon after, Soon Yi and Woody get married and adopt 2 children together. Until this day, Dylan still claims that her father essayed her, and I think it's so disturbing that this man essayed potentially 2 children and there was never any consequences. And this is where there's so much controversy. People think that Soon Yi was old enough to be with Woody at this point, so there's nothing wrong with this, but you can't tell me that this man was not preying on Soon Yi way before she was an adult. Like, you can't convince me. There had to be some abuse going on before, because he didn't just wake up one day when she was an adult and say, okay, I want to be with her.
You know there's actually a study that looked at how smart you are based on the video games you play? No way. Yeah, seriously. An article by Psych News Daily talked about a study that measured the average IQs of people based on their favorite games. We know the average human IQ score is between 85 and 115, right? So going from lowest to highest, starting off, we have Rocket League with an average IQ score of 99.3. And then there's GTA V players with an average IQ of 99.6. Next, we've got Fortnite players who scored an average of 103. Moving up, FIFA players scored an average IQ of 106. After that, Call of Duty Modern Warfare players come in with an IQ of 111, which Chung, by the way, is my favorite game. Now let's talk about the top 3 games with the highest IQs. In third place, we've got Minecraft players with an average IQ of 116, which is above the human average. In second place, it's Among Us players with an IQ of 118. I mean, it makes sense. You've got to be smart to figure out who the imposter is, right? And finally, in first place with the highest IQ score, we have Rainbow Six Siege players. So if you're good at that game, congrats, you might just be the smartest of all the gamers.
So Jinxie, he's a genius, bro. He's a certified genius, man. You know, he'd be killing that Rainbow Six Siege, bro. That's crazy, man. I need to look up that game IQ list, see, Chris. Which category do you fall off, man? You play Rocket League, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, or Minecraft, Fortnite, Rocket League, Rainbow Six Siege, bro. Or if you play all of them, man, might be smarter than Einstein, bro.
Y'all right now, you guys need to be careful because I don't know what the hell is going on in these gas stations and I don't know who in the world is letting this happen. Did y'all see the video of the Texan woman that walks into the Exxon gas station and she goes into the hallway where all the doors are that leads to the bathroom?
Unlocked and locked. Is someone in there? I don't know because I've knocked and I don't know. It just beeped. What does that mean? Why is it only on the women's restroom? Men's, nah. Exit, nah. Private, nah. Employee only, nah.
Texas, what's going on?
But I can't call him also, or you can, but you can call him after. Because no matter how he feels about it.
They called the cops to get this thing removed ASAP. How does something like this get installed on the woman's door? And how many people have realized this and have never said nothing? And who authorized this? And it's scary to think that gas stations, one of the safe havens that you would go to if you were in trouble, is actually doing this same type of thing. Ladies, if you're in public, make sure you are never alone and always watch your surroundings, y'all. I have a little daughter, man. This is scary to think about when you see things like this. But let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. The shift is here.
Terrifying things that can happen to someone while on vacation. In this viral video, you see 43-year-old George Gillian and his wife Lizette Zambrano being electrocuted in a hot tub at the Sonoran Sea Resort in Mexico. George and Lizette stayed at this resort with other family members when on the evening of June 11th, they both decided to go in the hot tub when all of a sudden George felt an electric shock. In this interview, Lizette said that the last thing her husband said to her was, "Oh shit," before he was electrocuted over and over again.
Last thing I remember him saying is, "Oh," and it's the same time that I felt the first electric shock. And then it happened over and over and over. I didn't hear him again.
People who saw everything happen tried to help them out, but they couldn't do much because they were also being shocked by the electrical current. Lizette was eventually pulled out of the water with no pulse, but she was given CPR and she did survive. Unfortunately, her husband did not, and now she's suing the resort for $1 million. The lawsuit says that George was being electrocuted and drowned for 10 minutes, all while the people who worked at the resort watched and did not turn off the hot tub. It's alleged that there was faulty wiring in the hot tub which caused the electrical current. And while this is a rare occurrence, it's been said that some indicators of an electrical current inside a pool includes any underwater lights that might not be functioning properly. And it's also been advised not to swim before, during, or after a thunderstorm.
Beings human were never meant to see
It's a tragic case.
Anton Lavey, founder of Church of Satan.
I won't mention his name, but it was a big leader and founder of a huge satanic organization. And he was on his deathbed. And for a Satanist, at the time of death, it's a great victory for them because death is a huge thing that they celebrate. And he was getting ready to die, pass on his powers and that. And on his deathbed, he must have got some revelation or an angelic appearance or something. And he went into shock and he said, oh my, what have I done? He said, there's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. And his whole life had been spent propagating these satanic beliefs.
Alistair Crowley, the man who spoke to demons.
Let's talk about. What do you guys think? You think he saw something at the end? He was on one side, but when he got near close to the end, he completely, I guess, change or switch his viewpoint. He must have saw something. What do you guys think?
Well, the unsolved case of Mr. Cruel.
Hmm?
Mr. Cruel is the name given to this unknown man. He's a serial child predator. He attacked and assaulted 3 little girls in northern Australia. His crimes took place in the 1980s and the 1990s. He's been wanted since 1987, and police describe him as extremely intelligent. He meticulously stalks all of his victims and their families. And he leaves purposeful distractors at each site. There's also no forensic evidence left behind at all from him. He also always wore a mask to protect his identity, and it worked. And those masks you see on the left and right of me are so creepy. Something about the way that the left one looks over here is really messy. Apparently his behavior was unhurried and very calm, and he was soft-spoken. At one point during one of his attacks, he took a break to have a meal in the family's house. What? And he threatened the victim and the family if they even moved. So he straight up had these people in their own home while he ate a meal, and then continued his attack after he was done. Dude is an absolute psychopath. Investigators believe that he took videos and pictures of his attack during the incidents, and if he is still alive, this will be one of the key clues in getting him. He still walks free to this day, though. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and happy Halloween.
This is the devastating case of Kylie Rodney. On August 6, 2022, 16-year-old Kylie went missing at Prosser Family Campground in Truckee, California. Kylie attended a school party with more than 100 kids, but it's alleged that older people also showed up, which made a lot of the teens uncomfortable. Kylie texted her mom right before midnight and told her that she would be home in 45 minutes, but the following morning, Kylie's mother got super worried when Kylie was still not home. One of Kylie's friends said that she was with her the entire evening until she decided to go home at 12:20 a.m. Police searched Prosser Lake for more than 15 hours but were unable to find Kylie's vehicle. But on August 21st, a group of divers who go by the name Adventures with Purpose decided that they would help look for Kylie. It didn't take the group of divers much time to locate Kylie's car, only 14 feet underwater. The car was upside down and Kylie's body was inside. The investigation is still ongoing and the autopsy results have not been released yet. So what do you guys think happened to Kylie? Was this a tragic accident or was there foul play involved?
I'm gonna go with foul play. There was a party stuff going on. Other
This
people
guy's
showed
the
up.
real Humpty Dumpty, and his story is much darker than you think. Deep in the eerie town of Puddlebrook, Kentucky, resided Gilbert Eggman, a man plagued by misfortune. His tale took a sinister turn when he joined the construction crew. Perched atop a towering brick wall on his very first day, 3 co-workers, fueled by malevolence, sent the ladder crashing down. Gilbert's pleas for help fell on deaf ears. Desperate to rescue him, the trio resorted to a crane. But destiny had other plans. The crane, guided by an unseen force, struck Gilbert, sending him hurtling to a grim demise. The town whispered of Gilbert's curse. In the following months, darkness consumed Puddlebrook. One by one, the 3 construction workers met their untimely ends, each death shrouded in mystery. Gilbert's curse, it seemed, had unleashed its wrath upon them, becoming an urban legend in the small town. Caution for the...
So Humpty Dumpty was based off this Gilbert's curse story? We're seeing more and more cases, man, like I said, about medias that we've been watching as a kid that's really be based off true stories, but they just, I guess, switch it and turn it into something else. So you lose the, like, original point of the story. Man. Humpty Dumpty, who would have knew? That's like one of the oldest pieces of media.
The photo that you are about to see. This was captured on the Ring doorbell of Jessica Gerald on a 2014 morning around 3 a.m. It is the only shot that we have of the man who broke into her home. For context, this is a small town right outside of Omaha, Nebraska. Like, bad things don't happen here, or so everyone thought. Unprovoked and completely without motive, the man was seen on camera around 3, and then he uses a glass scoring tool where he very quietly makes a hole in the window and then enters through the living room. So the following morning, Jessica Gerald, she doesn't go into work, so her family is contacted. They go to her home, where she is found without her head or her tongue. Media investigation was launched where the footage was eventually recovered. The man seen here had also posed her body without the head sitting up at her kitchen table.
Eerie case, man.
Let's talk about this couple who cheated on the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and thought they got away with it.
You just want $1 million.
This all happened in 2001 when Charles Ingram was a contestant on the show, while his wife Diana and a man named Tequan Whitcock were in the audience helping him cheat the entire time. So how exactly did they notice that Charles was cheating? Well, throughout the entire show, the sound technician noticed a loud coughing coming from the audience at specific times after Charles spoke.
I don't think it's an animal. Megatron, mega. Yeah. I don't think it's Megatron. I'm sure it's Google.
After reviewing the footage, they noticed that the coffee came specifically from Tequan and Diana whenever Charles mentioned the right answer after the 4 options. They were able to catch a total of 19 coughs, which came from his wife and Tequan, which signaled the correct answers. But not only that, Charles' strategy throughout the game was very odd because he would state the 4 options out loud, and it was clear that he didn't know the answer, but somehow he always got it right. Then what producers found strange was that after Charles got every question right and won £1 million, he was seen arguing with his wife backstage. At the time Charles left the set, they began investigating and they did not hand over the money to him. All 3 of them were found guilty of conspiring to cheat, but till this day they've maintained their innocence, and Tequan still argues that his coughing was because he had allergies and it was all a coincidence. Ultimately, if Charles didn't cheat, he would have only won £1,000 that night. This is the disturbing moment this woman laughed in court after she took this 3-year-old's life in a random attack. On June 3rd, police received numerous phone calls about a stabbing at a grocery store parking lot in Ohio. At around 3 p.m. on this day, 38-year-old Margot Wood was loading groceries into her car while her 3-year-old son Julian sat in his car seat. That's when 32-year-old Bianca Ellis entered the car and began stabbing the little boy. When Margot noticed, she tried to stop the attacker, and as a result, she was also wounded. Julian was then rushed to the hospital where he unfortunately passed away. Now, what's disturbing was that this was a random attack, and after looking at surveillance footage, the attacker was seen following the mother and the child in and out of the grocery store. Then, when Bianca was brought into court, the judge began reading out the indictment, and she was seen smiling and laughing the entire time. And after an assessment was done on Bianca, they're arguing that she has bipolar disorder and had a psychotic break, which explains why she did what she did. And this story only gets crazier. Before this incident, Bianca confessed to another murder in Bakersfield, and she even gave details of what she did with this person's body. She also warned officers that if she wasn't arrested, she was going to murder someone and eat their flesh. But none of this was taken too serious, and she was released from the mental institution, and not long after, she committed this heinous crime. This case,
you gotta listen to people have to follow up on their job, man. She's a dangerous individual, and they just let her released from that mental institution. Look what happened. People need to pay more attention, man. That's why in the store I don't like when people follow me around, bro. You always gotta be vigilant.
Is a very sensitive topic regarding Pony, the orangutan. In Indonesia, Pony was stolen from her mother as a baby and believed to have been sold on the black market, and she was purchased by where she would be shaved every 2 days, wore perfume and makeup. The owner of this business was a woman, and Pony was chained to a bed where men would come in after paying for a private room with her.
What the?
And they did exactly what you're thinking to her. An animal organization heard about Pony and attempted to save her, but were run off by villagers who didn't want Pony to be taken away from them. But in February 2003, 35 police officers showed up and rescued Pony. She was believed to be between the ages of 6 years old and 7, and due to how the law worked at the time, no one was charged or arrested. Pony has since been kept in an enclosure as she wouldn't be able to survive on her own in the wild. But as of recently, Pony is estimated to be either 23 or 24 years old and is in healthy condition. And this is a picture of her from 2018.
This is why you should always be aware of your surroundings. A woman was walking home one night with her child when this happened. everything's normal until a man comes out from the darkness. He then proceeds to go to the door and start banging on it, seemingly trying to get inside to the mother and her child. Ali Porath, the mother who was seen in this video, later took to social media to explain that this all happened at around 7 p.m. at night when she was returning home from getting groceries. She explains that she had seen that man before, waiting out alone in front of her house, just watching. But ever since this happened, she hasn't seen him. And that's why it's always important to be aware of your surroundings.
Preach.
So this photo is the reason you shouldn't put your feet up on the dashboard of a car. In 2007, Granny Keeley had an airbag deploy on her at 120 miles an hour. She was sitting passenger with her feet up on the dash, and when the airbag went off, her knees went right into her skull. Obviously, this led to a brain injury. Her 2 front teeth also fell out, but she lived, thankfully. She lived without a forehead for about 2 years until surgeons fitted a ceramic forehead into her skull. She had near constant headaches, and she developed gallstones because of the medication she was on. After they fitted a ceramic plate into her forehead, they injected fat from her stomach into it so it could look more natural. This is her today, so she looks very normal now. And of course, because she's in good spirit, she says her ceramic forehead is designer because it was made in Italy. She also spent a considerable amount of time educating people on why they shouldn't put their feet up on the dashboard. Because if you do, you could end up like this. And you might not be so lucky. So, if you get anything from this video, stop putting your feet up on the dash. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And as always, these videos are for informational and entertainment purposes only.
This is a good reminder to double check every single nook and cranny in your house. Because in 2019, this couple came home after a week-long vacation to see that there was a stranger living in their home. And he had most likely been living there while they were also in the house.
How?
Also, if you like these kinds of stories, you'll like tonight's episode. Upon arriving home after a week away, Josh Campbell tried the front door of his house, but there was a stranger on the inside pulling it closed. That stranger was 26-year-old Ezekiel Zayas, and yes, this is a video he left on their personal computers. The two were able to call the police and eventually get him out of the house, but that's when they saw all of the terrifying stuff he had been up to in the home. He also left them videos on their computers that included incredibly personal information that they had only shared with each other, meaning that he had been listening to their conversations. But the worst part was the knives. Ezekiel had left notes in the house about surgeries that he wanted to perform on the family, like a hand transplant. And when the couple went into their bedroom, they saw that there were knives and other utensils all around the bed. It seemed like he was preparing to do some sort of operation on them. Frogging stories are absolutely terrifying, and I don't want to give too much away, but you might be spooked by tonight's episode.
I cannot be the only one who hasn't heard about the 10-year-old girl that is facing first-degree intentional homicide charges for stomping on a 6-month-old baby boy's head at a daycare center, y'all. What? Oh my god. Leave a like on this video, follow for more true crime, and check this one out.
A 10-year-old Chippewa Falls girl is facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide in the death of a 6-month-old boy on October 30th.
Injuries sustained by the 6-month boy was not an accident.
This heartbroken father says he can't forgive the 10-year-old girl now accused of stomping on his baby's head.
As opposed to seeing it as a 10-year-old girl, I seen it as the person who killed my son. And she, in my opinion, deserved to be in shackles or handcuffs. She's a criminal.
An imprint of her shoe was found on Jackson's head. Jackson fought for his life for 2 days, but succumbed to his injuries.
Now the girl's mother is sharing personal photos and videos.
What's up, guys? Today's my first YouTube video.
Do you think she's been painted as a monster?
Yes, I do.
Is she?
No, she's not. She is beautiful, intelligent, smart, loves to sing, loves to play.
Today in this video, we're gonna be playing hide and seek.
She's been locked up for 9 months.
This
video shows her getting a ride from her father during a visit at a detention facility. She's smiling, but as Dad puts her down, you can see shackles around her ankles. The girl's family says she suffers from mental illness, and they tried to get her help, but were turned away.
They denied my daughter because she wasn't 12 years old.
This is one of the worst cases in human history. This is the murder of Christine Silouan.
She was from the Philippines and was a volunteer in church, and she used the church every day from 4 to 6 p.m. On the day of her murder, she went to church as per her schedule, but she didn't come home after that. Her parents then started to worry, and they began searching for her with their neighbors. And what they found is absolutely horrid. They found her body in a farm where half her face was sliced like a piece of pizza, and her face was literally skinned down to her skull. Also, her brain was completely destroyed by acid. The police then started investigating, and they checked the cameras and found out that she was with a guy. The people started protesting about this case, and the case was then given to special officers. They had a lot of pressure on this. A week before this happened, she broke up with her boyfriend, so the police took him into custody, and he was proving that he was at home all day when she was murdered, but officers were completely tired of this case, and they then sentenced him as the murderer. But after a few months, a thief was caught in a store where he confessed that he murdered and raped Christine. He said he started talking to her on Facebook with a fake account and was using fake photos of another guy that was pretty good looking. Christine fell for the guy, and she assumed that he was about 20 years old, and they started texting daily. One day, they both decided to meet up at 6 p.m. near the church she went to. But upon arriving, Christine noticed that this was not the guy she was talking to, and he was around 40-ish years old. She then refused to talk to him and tried to go back, but he held her hands extremely forcefully. He then took her far away from town and raped her repeatedly and put iron rods inside her personal organs. He then cut her face in half and then skinned her whole head down to the skull. And to make it even worse, he put acid inside of her head. The autopsy also revealed that her tongue, trachea, esophagus, parts of her neck, and her right ear were missing. The self-proclaimed killer of this case, named Renato Lanis, said that he used barber-type scissors and stabbed her 30 times on different parts of her body and skinned her face. Christine Silouan was only 16 years old, and this case is extremely haunting.
Damn.
There's a picture of her body that was found in the field, but Google did a really good job of not showing it and hiding it. So even if you do go looking for the picture, I don't think you're going to find it. This is one of those cases that after you get done reading it, you just feel some sort of uneasiness. I feel so bad for Christine's family, and I can't imagine finding my daughter in this state. May Christine Silouan rest in peace.
Some crazy things happening in the world right now. You remember when that giant boat crashed into the Baltimore Bridge? The crew from that ship is still stuck in Baltimore 19 months later. They are not under arrest, they are just not allowed to leave Baltimore because there's still an investigation pending. Some of those crew members were already gone from home for months before this, which means some of them haven't seen their families in over 2 years. China and Russia are apparently sending female spies into Silicon Valley to steal secrets from tech workers, even marrying and having children with them. The stock market and job openings have risen and fallen in tandem with each other for decades until 2023. Stocks are up more than 75%. Meanwhile, job listings are down by over 33%. By the way, ChatGPT launched at the end of 2022. There's some weird stuff happening because of AI. Someone told ChatGPT to trade cryptocurrency, and it lost 42 out of 44 times, wasting almost $10,000 in just a few days. The amount of offices being built in the United States is about to be taken over by the amount of data centers in the United States being built.
How are we not more upset that we've all been scammed?
How did we go from fighting a revolution over a 2% tax on a breakfast beverage to what we pay today? And we're taxed on money when we receive it, when we spend it, when we keep it, when we invest it, and even when we die with it. It gets worse. We commute to work to make that money in a car that is taxed again to register on roads we're already taxed to build, fueled by gas that is taxed even further, and many times through tolls that tax you again. And that's to maintain bridges and highways and tunnels that already have billions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, allocated to them, and they're still falling apart.
The founding fathers would have had 5 revolutions by now.
And they're still falling apart. And then when you get to your office that is taxed to exist, in a corporation that is also taxed to do business, that almost certainly requires permits and other things, which are another tax, you are paid a paycheck that the corporation must match another payroll tax on top of what they have to pay you. Then you go to a home of which you are taxed to own every single year that we bought with money that the government already taxed.
We have to be the most taxed people in the most taxed country on planet Earth of all time, that we get the politicians so much money, and where has it gotten us? It's mind-boggling how no one really cares that much. Stay weird.
When was the last time you saw Jessica Simpson? Why do I ask? Because she recently appeared in a Pottery Barn ad and was completely unrecognizable, leaving her fans in shock. If you haven't seen the viral Pottery Barn video, take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Jessica Simpson, and welcome to my daughter Birdie's room, designed by Pottery Barn Kids. A little bit of me.
Who is that in the Pottery Barn ad? Is that Jessica Simpson?
Looks like it.
Is that the Jessica Simpson that we're all used to seeing in music videos and TV shows? This is the Jessica Simpson that we're all used to seeing. So who is this Jessica Simpson that appeared in the Pottery Barn ad? It has her fans asking the question, has Hollywood claimed another celebrity? This is a recent image of Jessica Simpson, and this is a still image from the Pottery Barn ad. And as I say in all my videos, I understand that people can age and people can change. But these Hollywood celebrities are all not looking the same. So I guess my question to you is, has Hollywood claimed another celebrity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
So a 6.7 magnitude earthquake just hit Japan, and I wasn't trying to be funny, okay, because it's a 6.7, but a 6.7 earthquake hit Japan this morning. Right now, they are bracing for a tsunami. There's a tsunami warning, which is pretty typical after earthquakes. And this is where it happened in this little area, just, I guess, a little bit north of Tokyo and Sendai. Our biggest thing here is that people are not seeing the earth groaning and moaning because the time is near, the time is at hand. Remember, in the Bible, in the last days, it says that we will have pestilences in diverse places. We have been seeing a lot of earthquakes. I haven't been covering all of them, but we have been seeing a lot of them. I feel like the earth and all of the natural disasters that are happening right now, people are kind of ignoring them or just seemingly not really being mindful of them because we're so focused on every other chaotic thing that's going on, which is also foretold in the Bible. Like, the world would be in a state of chaos. Also in the state of that chaos, in the state of the wars and the rumors of wars and all the different famines and all the different things that's going on in different countries and just the depravity of people's hearts, there will also be the groaning of the earth. So we are in those times where we are seeing everything play out on a world stage. And one of the things we've seen more recently is just a crazy amount of earthquakes. And it seems like they're getting larger and larger. And so I don't believe anyone was hurt by this earthquake because I believe it happened on the coastline. But still, pray for the people who, you know, houses might have been affected, or cars, or just damages and things like that.
Here are 6.7 magnitude earthquake. You guys know about these clips, but we've been watching, man, how they keep saying 6.7 demonic. First I wasn't kind of believing it, but add to now, well, like I said, there's things happening all over the world, these earthquakes, floods, and things like that happening. But some people, they don't even know, man. Watching these clips, it really brought my attention to it, bro. Gotta be aware.
Some real-life glitches caught on camera, part 2. In 2016, a road security camera on a busy intersection caught a mind-boggling event on tape. Traffic seems to be moving like normal until an invisible force lifts 3 cars up effortlessly and throws them around like ragdolls. The people's reactions, as well as multiple captured angles, prove that this really happened. This actually isn't the first time something like this has happened. This video captures a similar event taking place on the road below and shows 2 cars that mysteriously start to levitate. No cables or edits can be seen when both of these events occur, leaving most of us questioning our own reality.
Y'all Barbara better stop playing with people's hair. I'm trying to tell you, fool. Your hairline already naturally decline as you get older. And for a barber to push your hairline back, that's diabolical. Look at this man. He in the mirror like, yeah, you push me back right here. Look, he just like, right here? No, nah, nigga, you push that nigga shit back. I do not like barbers like this. Knowing the whole time he pushed your shit back and he just like, damn, how I'm gonna fix it? Let me know down below in the comments. Has a barber ever pushed your shit back? And if they did you say something to him, or you just was like, fuck, I'm about to just take this L? He know what he see.
Right there, bro.
He gave this man a Vegeta hairline, fool.
Oh, man.
You talking about right here? You see that shit. Now you gonna push it back even more. This way you messed up at. Yeah, alright.
Bro, don't worry about it, bro. You go super, bro. You go there, she go quick, bro. Don't worry about it, bro.
Hey, you push my shit back, nigga. LeBron.
Said not the LeBron, bro.
Miss Universe 2025.
Bro, has that ever happened to any guys seekers, man? You got the cup, bro, and they messed it up, man. I think that happened to me. I mean, like once, a long time ago, bro. Went to this barber shop. No, new barber. He was in the barber shop, bro. I was chopped, bro. Never again, man. That happened to me once. I said, nope. I never went back to him again after that. He messed me up. And it happened to me again. That's what I learned. That's what you got to lock in with one barber, bro. Lock in.
Will go down as their most controversial year in history. So the winner was just revealed to be Mexico's Fatima Bosch, the same girl who was called a dumbhead by the pageant's director, triggering mass walkouts by contestants and a huge global backlash. But that was just a tiny fraction of the problems that they've run into this year. After that incident, a former winner of the contest was criticized for making racist comments online towards the pageant's director, calling him that despicable Chinese. And then when someone in the chat corrected her, saying that he was actually Thai, Alicia Machado said, Chinese, Thai, Korean, to me, all of these people with slanted eyes like this are Chinese. This is while she was pulling the corners of her eyes. Miss Israel got a wave of death threats online after a clip of her went viral, seemingly giving Miss Palestine crazy side-eye. She then had to come out and deny these claims, saying that the footage was cropped and taken from a distorted angle, and that she did not look at Miss Palestine with any hostility. Miss Jamaica was placed on a stretcher and rushed to hospital on stage during one of the walks, and then just days before the winner was set to be announced, 2 judges abruptly stepped down from the competition, with one of them accusing the pageant of being rigged. In fact, the president of the Miss Universe organization was even asked by reporters about these rigging allegations while he was literally standing next to the winner. Now, he strongly denied all of the accusations. But in the end, Thailand was runner-up, with Venezuela, Philippines, and the Ivory Coast also making it into the top 5. The question is, do you think that the right person won or not?
Scientists confirm that your dreams might be real moments happening in another reality. Like not imagination, like reality. So when you dreamed about that mansion, 0 bills, that was real somewhere. They're basically saying that when your brain goes lucid, you're not dreaming anymore. You're tuning into another version of your life. So every time I was rich, fought demons, flown, and talked to people that don't exist here, it actually happened. Just not in this timeline. If you go down that rabbit hole on TikTok, you'll see people trying to switch reality. Whole tutorials. Candle rituals and all. And people laughed at that shit. Well, apparently they're on to something. These scientists are working on making hardware that one day we could replay our dreams. I'm talking VR simulation type shit. Now think about this. If that rollout happens, the darkest parts of your subconscious might be covered. Maybe dreams aren't fake. Maybe reality is. Because if my mind can leave this world every single night, who said this one is the real one? Y'all gotta think about this shit. I made a video about dreams before. And I'm always questioning, how do things like this happen in dreams? Where do we go? How do we get there? And then how do we come back into this reality right here? Well, apparently I've been asking the right question. Pay attention.
So basically they're saying when you dream, you're basically seeing another version, another reality of yourself. That's interesting. So every single time you dream, like you said, you're rich, you have money, you have superpowers, bro. That means, bro, that's like confirmed with the multiverse, right? The multiverse theory? Or alternate timeline, something, bro. Wow. Imagine, man, there's a version of yourself out there that's freaking rich that has superpowers, bro. Fighting zombies, man. The possibilities are endless, bro. You guys want me to go down that lucid dream rabbit hole?
12-year-old got 2 new finger piercings. The daughter of Kourtney Kardashian and Kanye West has finally posted a new photo of her finger piercing. Not only did Northwest just get 1 finger piercing, he actually got 2 piercings. But this is her first piercing. It is a surface piercing. This is the result of the picture before. Now people are even more madder at Kim Kardashian for allowing North to basically do whatever she wants. And now a lot of people are saying Kanye West was right. And even more worser, in the span of the past like 6 or 7 weeks, we have seen North's 2 new piercings, as well as her for Halloween basically dressing up like a Tekashi 6ix9ine Labubu, where she has so many face tats. And even more insane, a lot of people are concerned for Northwest's health, because not only are piercings like very hard to keep clean, 12-year-olds are typically not the most hygienicest people in the world. A lot of people are concerned for Northwest's ability to clean out her piercings, because not only does she have this one, because not only does she have this piercing on this finger, Northwest also has this piercing. She has a dermal piercing on this finger right here, as well as this nose ring. And although some people are saying that they are absolutely disgusted by this, other people are saying that we are not her mother, so who cares? Would you let your 12-year-old get these piercings?
Story that was passed down for generations by the Hopi people warned of the time that humans would create a terrifying object so powerful it could burn the earth, poison the skies, and they referred to that as Lord of Ashes, which sounds a lot like the atomic bomb.
Right.
The way the prophecy goes, it starts out at some point the earth there would be a black ribbon built, and that bugs would be upon it, and then you begin to see the bug moving on the land. It would be so violent that the bug would be shaken off of the earth into the air, and it would begin to move and fly through the air, and it would cause disease. This predates the board. Apparently in the 20s they saw those planes and cars, and they were like, okay, this is something coming true, because we've seen the first 2 things happen, and the third, this complete destruction, poisoning the waters, consuming the land. They believe that the technological advancement without spiritual wisdom would destroy the earth. They warned that we're now living in the 4th world, is what they call it. This is terrifying. He said nature will speak with its own voice. The time for warnings is over.
Parasites and spiritual entities are the exact same thing. Because the spirit world and the microscopic world, they're both the unseen world, but they're both there. First of all, look at these things. You can't tell me these things don't look like monsters or demons. Look at them. Because you need to understand, there's a macrocosm and a microcosm. The microcosm is literally all the small things that we don't see in the world. Parasites, germs, airwaves, all this type of stuff. And the macrocosm is all the things that we can see. We can see other humans, we see animals, we see planets, we see the sun, we see trees, plants. Everything has a larger and a smaller version of itself. So when you see bastards like this, bruh, that's a fucking demon. Because that's what a parasite does. It controls you like a demon. It will literally influence your brain to do shit that you know you're not supposed to be doing. Eat shit you know you ain't supposed to be eating. Because the spirit world is everything. Spirits and ghosts and germs and parasites. It's all the spirit world. But that's the thing. There's positive entities in the world and there's negative entities. The negative ones just want to steal energy from you all the time. They just want to make you do bad shit to make you self-destruct and destroy yourself. Then there's the good ones. They want to help you. They want you to learn. They want you to grow, evolve, be better. That's another reason why fasting is so important. Get the parasites out of your body so you could be the best version of yourself. And then there's the other benefits of fasting. Weight loss. It supports your gut microbiome. For those who don't know what that is, it makes your gut healthy. It makes your skin glow, all that shit. It's responsible for cellular repair. When you fast, your body starts to heal itself. It enhances your mental clarity and your focus. You can think better. And it supports longevity. It supports your body taking care of itself in the long run.
A crazy story I ever heard. A
Needed,
17-year-old, she decided to go into her parents' room while they were sleeping. And both of them. And she literally went onto a TikTok crime page. Oh, this happened to my parents. Can you help me try and solve it? But she's the one that did it. Sarah Grace TikTok story. She confused everyone. Called the police. Someone just barged in my house. They my parents, right? Yeah. One of the true crime people did a whole story about it, right? And in the comments, they were asking questions. What weapon was it? And herself, Sarah, went into the comments and was like, oh, it was a gun. This is where it was. It's like this was all a game for her.
I just wanted to say goodbye to my mom and Jane since we never got the chance to. And I have to say also how much I need John for now. Although there's nothing we can do to prove that. I love you guys, and so do they. I'm sorry.
So did she get caught? The only reason why she got caught was because she turned herself in. From an investigative standpoint, it would seem that it was someone who knew them. Most definitely was since they knew the house. Whoa. That's her commenting on her own murder. She posted a video too of, there's no way I can't call my mom anymore. I'm so sad.
Thing is,
no fuck.
It's actually insane, bro. The fact that she was commenting on what she did, talking to a true crime podcaster, bro, on TikTok. It goes to show you, man, bro. People will do anything, man, for some attention. And she took it to the extreme. Wow. The fact that she was commenting under the post, talking to that person, saying they like whoever did it must have known the house, and was like, yeah, obviously because they knew where they were at. No words.
Put me over, Brett. Please don't put me over, Brett. I literally begged that man, Brett, on the Bible, man. I begged that man and his wife not to do me like this, bro. And they literally turned around less than 48 hours later and did me exactly how I wish that they did me, bro. And it's like if I don't speak up and I don't tell my story and I don't shine light on this, bro, it's gonna be people still tied to them that can't get out of these deals because people be scared to speak up. And I'm getting DMs and texts from fake investigators and people trying to call me and tell me that they know where I stay. I'm getting told that these people are part of a bloodline and I gotta be careful with the attorneys that I'm dealing with.
Something very strange about magnetics. I need you to buckle up for this one. Now, magnetic fields are in the shape of a torus, which is just a fancy word for donut. And we can see that in the ferrocell, and we can see it when these iron flakes are flying around this magnet on a chain. You can see how the energy flows.
Yeah.
Cool, why does this matter? This is how the planet protects itself from the sun when it tries to fucking attack us. It shoots these angry balls of energy at us, and the magnetic field gets bent when it interacts with it. Now, when these magnetic field lines connect again, they go back into the poles of the Earth through that toroidal shape, and then that's how we get the auroras. Now, the interaction of these creates these magnetic hotspots on the planet, and we call these ley lines. Now, we can see this with the new satellites that we have. It gives us a very clear image of all these little points where they're at. Now, the weird thing is, our ancient homies built their structures on hotspots on the planet, and they accidentally built them in the same shape that can harness all of that energy into a fine point, creating a magnetic field around the structure. Now, they accidentally created a giant alternator, and if only they knew what shape could harness that energy. You know, imagine the stuff they can do.
What's going on out there in the non-melanated community? Because I'm coming across a lot of these videos of white girls, you know, specifically these white women, right? They are getting a heavily bodily tans. Has anybody been seeing this on their timelines? This can't be healthy. Like to drench yourself in this amount of synthetic melanin, if it is synthetic melanin, it cannot be healthy. And, you know, the ingredients on the bottle are not going to be true because no corporation in America makes healthy things. So what really is this? What are they putting on their body? Like, look at it on her sleeping gown, whatever it is. And then to go and curl your hair and then do all of this, what is going on here? This is like some Addams Family type-ish, bro. Look at this, y'all. What is happening, America?
Tan that gives you this color. I am naturally this white. You need to use our ultra dark tan. It is watermelon scented, and this is what it looks like immediately after applying it with a rubber glove. I'm telling you, the color payoff is wild.
So why are they making everything related to melanin and pigment watermelon flavor? Like watermelon flavor tan?
Really?
Like why would you want to make an applicable tan, like bodily applicable tan, watermelon flavor? Like even the drinks that they're all drinking, man, it's even watermelon flavor as well too. So you know what they say about us and watermelon. We do love our watermelon. I love watermelon. So are they trying to subconsciously make them? And even when you look at this bottle over here, we are the children of the sun. Like, and they got the sun on here as well too. Like, what are they implying?
I think I'm crazy.
Maybe they just like the tan. His face was killing me, bro.
I mean, how do they not see what's going on here? Look at the face. What the hell? What? Yeah, I need answers because all of this is brand new. Because even those copper tone sunblocks never did this. Crazy, man. That's why melanin costs more than gold. We are the real currency. But let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. The shit is here. Let's continue to get it.
Interesting facts that will make you think.
Okay.
When people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small.
True.
But barely anyone in the present thinks that they can radically change the future by doing something small. The person who invented audio recording probably thought it didn't work right when their voice sounded different. The best part of a cucumber kind of tastes like the worst part of a waterboard. An air conditioning repairman spends all day in buildings with no air conditioning. When it's fixed and finally cold, they leave. Security at every level of an airport is always taken very seriously. Until you get to baggage claim, because then it's just like take whatever bag you want. The amount of people older than you never gets bigger. When we're young, we sneak out of our houses to go to parties. When we're older, we sneak out of parties to go home. Follow for more.
Have you done that?
8 years old when you realized the candy lifesavers are shaped like a lifesaver because if a kid chokes someone, the hole in the middle will save their life because they'll still be able to breathe. I was 10 years old when I realized that the Krusty Krab is a crab trap. Next, after you take off the caps on these Kool-Aid drinks, you can actually flip it around and reclose your drink. Okay, flames don't have shadows. Did you know that Sid from Toy Story 1 is also the garbage man from Toy Story 3? And I was 10 years old when I realized that a Gatorade cap fits perfectly at the bottom of a Gatorade bottle.
Okay, we did learn some mind-blowing facts, man. I didn't even know you could twist those links off the Kool-Aid just... That was a cap. I always used to throw those away. And then we had a Sid 3 freaking cameo in Toy Story 3. The more you know, man. Tap in, man. You're gonna learn some interesting facts with this.
Here are some facts that are guaranteed to make you go, wow.
Talk about it.
Tag some friends so they can also go, wow. This one's a bit mental. If you fully stretch out the DNA of just one of your cells, it'd be about 2 meters long. However, if you stretch all of the DNA from all of your cells out, it would reach twice the diameter of our solar system. There is such thing as a polka-dotted zebra. Since when? Chicago is actually sinking at a very similar rate to Venice. Everyone needs to know this. It's been determined by scientists that 3 seconds is the perfect dunking time for a British biscuit. You're welcome. And 4 seconds if it's an Oreo. Picasso's full name is actually 23 words long. Cool, but why? There is over $1 million worth of hidden treasure buried somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. I'll be right back. It takes 43 muscles to frown, however only 17 to smile. So what we've determined here is it's easier to be happy. Says he's screaming. Speaking of, if you didn't know any of these, you have to share it.
There's treasure in the Rocky Mountains? I'm on my way. We gotta go up
This is your friendly reminder that flies are racist, and you can use that to your advantage. Okay, not really. That was low-key clickbait, but hear me out. You can actually lower the chances flies press you based on the color of your clothes. According to studies, flies are most attracted to the color blue because I guess they mistake it for food or something. Dark browns and blacks close behind. Colors. We are fully talking about colors here. Generally, darker colors are more attractive to insects like black flies, but if you've been to any, I want to say, culturally diverse cookouts, you'll notice the flies have a type. Now, if wearing black isn't a choice but a way of life because, you know, studies also show that many disease-causing flies and mosquitoes hate bright colors like yellow and orange. And since flies are attracted to dark-moving objects, light, neutral colors, that's what you're going to want to go for. And if you're really not trying to mess with flies, striped clothing might actually confuse the flies and make them less likely to land on you. No joke, that's this barcode donkey's whole flow. But if you're not trying to do all that, wearing white, beige, or lighter colors like yellow for the summer might just be the move. The more you know.
Write that down, Seekers. Write that down. We need all those anti-colors, bro. When I'm going out, man, I'm gonna switch it up. No more freaking flies and mosquitoes for me, bro. They're hella annoying, man. I'm glad we're learning these facts out here.
According to experts, what you see first can say a lot about your personality. Today's fun personality test. Look at this picture and let me know what you see first. Comment it down in the comments, lock it in, and then I'm going to tell you what experts say about you.
What do you see?
If you saw the trees first, according to experts, you have great intuition and you always trust it. You have a very laid-back personality and you like spending quiet time doing nothing. If you saw the tiger first, according to experts, you're very strong-minded. And once you make a decision, Nothing can change that. And you're somebody who just likes a peaceful life. You don't get into drama just for the sake of getting into drama. So tell me in the comments what you saw first and are experts right about you, or did they get it completely wrong? And for more fun personality tests like this, follow me.
The most
I saw the
spoiled rich
tiger.
kid Snapchats. This kid was complaining that he crashed his Aston Martin, and he is now driving this, a Bentley. No way you're complaining about that, bro. Don't do that. This kid was mad that he was heading back to school. That was in his private jet. This guy posted a picture of a Rolls Royce and him wearing very expensive shoes. And he captioned it, "Peasant Protection." What? This kid was complaining that his dad got him a bad first car and his dad promised him a Ferrari, showing that he got a new Porsche instead. Bro, I never want to hear you complaining again.
Me either.
You know that crying literally makes you prettier? My name is Angel, and I've been studying in the field of psychotherapy the past 7 years, as well as being a makeup TikToker. And guess what? I just got out of a lash appointment because I cried all of my lashes off this month. And am I mad at myself? Not one bit, because psychologically, crying is a sign that you're healing, not a sign that you're broken or weak. Why? Because your body is designed with something called lacrimal glands. Lacrimal glands are activated when you cry. When your lacrimal glands are activated, your body immediately goes from a state of fight or flight to rest and digest. Your body and your brain are literally threatened when you're in a state of fight or flight. But when you're in a state of rest and digest, you are healing. Your brain becomes prettier and healthier when you feel your emotions deeply. Don't feel wrong for crying. You're actually going in the right direction.
This photo
So cry
shows
more.
41-year-old Stephen Plattl marrying his 19-year-old daughter Katie, who is pregnant with his child. Katie had been previously given up for adoption after her mother Alyssa realized that Stephen was physically abusing their daughter. But in 2016, Katie, who's now 18 years old, wanted to reconnect with her biological parents and actually ends up moving in with them. But after some time, Alyssa realizes that her husband is acting very differently and is even starting to dress better. She decides to ignore this change in behavior until 2017, when Katie gets pregnant and the father is her father. Alyssa immediately divorces Stephen, and just 2 months later, he and Katie are set to get married and give birth to a baby boy. Both the parents attend the wedding and support the marriage until 2018, when Katie begins to see a different side of Stephen. But when she tries to end the relationship, Stephen suffocates their newborn baby and stuffs him inside of a closet. He then proceeds to shoot both Katie and her adoptive dad.
It's a doom right from the start. That dog ain't sweet. Well, they said it was a skinwalker disguised as their dog. Cause I have a feeling you're in danger. Y'all know what I mean? Haha, I'm in danger. From the Simpsons. Yep, that's how I felt, bro, watching that.
As disturbing as it is entirely possible Amy Lynn Bradley was smuggled off this cruise ship in a suitcase. In 1998, Amy Lynn Bradley went on her family on a Royal Caribbean cruise, right? Early in the morning, her father last saw her on this balcony, and then he closed his eyes for 15 minutes, opened them, and she was gone. It would almost seem like she maybe fell overboard or even jumped overboard, but there's something much more disturbing that might have happened here. So this is a real photo from the ship. This is her first night on that ship when crew members started to notice her in the way she was dressed. There was even a report that there were several crew members who were preying on her. She was about 23 at the time. Even later that night, this is real footage from the dance floor that night on the ship where she appears to be pursued by one of the band members, Yellow. And of course, if you want the full episode on this, you gotta go check it out. Now, at the time the ship was docked, and 5 months later, witnesses claimed to see her on the beach where she disappeared in the possession of 2 men.
They're gonna say no. So here's what you... Since the Olympics themselves don't give out any money to medal winners, it's left up to a country's government and sponsors to decide what they'll win. And boy, do they differ. I mean, starting with the host, France have increased their prize money to $86,000 for gold. USA pays $37,500. Canada are looking at about $16,000. Great Britain pay a whopping total of $0. And the same goes for Norway, New Zealand, and Sweden. But then we got the other extreme. Hong Kong is paying gold medal winners a staggering $780,000. They'll even pay you if you finish 4th to 8th place. Indonesia promised their last 2 gold medal winners 5 cows, a meatball restaurant, and a new house. Oh, and $350,000 $150,000. Singapore, commonly confused with China by US lawmakers. No, Senator. Again, I'm Singapore. Said they will give gold medal winners $744,000. Malaysia are giving out a foreign-made car. Kazakhstan are going for 3, 2, or 1-bedroom apartments. China has always kept theirs a little bit of a secret. And then just for our rapid fire, we've got South Africa, Spain, Germany, Italy, Australia, and Thailand. Oh, and if you're wondering if athletes could at least just sell their gold medals, well, they're not actually made from pure gold. And if they were to sell them, they'd get about $960. That's it. So the question is, which country do you think takes the W for their prizes?
This is the clip.
The one who gives out the most, man. I'm thinking when I was a kid, I know I wasn't the only thinking I was a kid. I thought if you want to go medal, you were rich, you were set for life. That is said if you sell it, bro, so you only get like $960. Yeah, we learning, bro. The Olympics, I said, they scamming, bro. Whole life a scam.
Clearest picture of a spirit that I've ever seen. When this photo was taken, there was no woman present inside of the building. And when investigators checked the photos that they had taken that night afterwards, they saw this ghostly face of a woman.
Whoa.
And what's really eerie about this is that this photo was taken inside of the Dumas brothel in Montana. And this location is known to be haunted by a number of women. I actually spent the night recently inside of the building where that photo was taken. Welcome to the Dumas brothel in Butte, Montana. Now, this place is haunted by a number of female spirits, and it has a pretty tragic history. So there were 3 deaths inside of the building, and all 3 of them could have been murders. In fact, one of the former madams of the brothel actually passed away up here in the upper floor of the building. And almost immediately afterwards, another woman took over her position, started driving her car, wearing her robes. So people definitely suspect it was a murder. In the basement of the building is a very scary portion of the place called the Cribs. I was talking to the owners of the building, and they think that there may have been illegal baby sales going on in the basement. And they also think the lives of babies and children may have been ended. The energy in here is so dark, it's so scary, and it's violent too. I saw it firsthand. I just can't get over this photo. I think it gives very uncanny valley vibes, and when I investigated there that night and actually was in the pitch black inside of that building, I couldn't stop thinking about how freaky this photo was, and the activity that we caught on camera that night definitely matched the vibe of this picture. It was scary, it was intense, something choked my dad out. I was with my dad, he almost had to quit investigating that night. Yeah, the video is on my YouTube channel now if you want to watch it. It's so crazy.
Should we check that out, Seekers? A full-on haunted freaking brothel? What the hell? Why didn't they just freaking knock down that building, man? Like you said, they had dark energy over there. If you can brave your soul investigating that paranormal, I don't know if I can do it.
The Lamin cheating drama is just got so much crazier. Because not only is bro posting videos of him doing pull-ups in the gym the day after he may or may not have been cheated on, but he's also seen sat by a pool with his arm over a new girl. And I mean, at this point, I'm not even sure if she's special, because every shot that we're seeing, there's a new one. In this one, he sat next to a girl in a black bikini. And then moments later, there's another one with a yellow one this time. Point is, bro's really learning from Neymar. Now as for Alex Padilla, she removed the I'm married text from her TikTok bio today, and also deleted her Instagram that had over 500k followers. Her new Instagram only follows 34 people, and Lamin is still not one of them. She also posted a new video, which could be seen as a little bit of a dig, where she is wearing the Spanish national team shorts, and also with a song that translates to something about the line of, remember how perfect this body is. So the question is this going to turn Lamin into a beast, or distract him and send him on a bender?
The dark rumors about powerful people, is there any truth to that?
My mom thinks there's a conspiracy theory where all the rich dudes get together in a room and they like plot like Inspector Gadget or something. Here's the problem with that theory. They have such big egos, they don't like each other. Elon Musk doesn't like Bill Gates. So there's no universe where those two dudes are at a table. Do you think you become a billionaire without being an extreme narcissist at some level? You are greedy and some level of psychopath. There's a ruthless level to it.
They're wired kind of like serial killers.
Exactly. Serial killers are solo wolves. Warren Buffett comes off as a nice guy, but trust me, this dude will eat your heart out in a negotiation.
Cool facts I think you should know.
What do you guys think?
2. The blast of air you feel when you walk into a store is meant to stop bugs from flying in. Some people are genetically predisposed to be more attractive to mosquitoes. People who trust their gut feelings are more likely to predict the outcomes of future events correctly. Tying your hair too tightly can strain your scalp's muscles and tendons, resulting in a ponytail headache. The feeling of your arm falling asleep at night is typically caused by pinched nerves, not a lack of blood flow or circulation. When you bring a live Christmas tree into your house, you're likely bringing spiders, mites, and other overwintering insects inside as well.
But I'm a live Christmas tree type of person. I don't like the fake trees. What do you guys think? See, because are you guys fake tree persons, or you guys get the real pine trees, man? Those facts. Man, we are learning out here today, bro.
3 tips that can actually save your life. Number 1, if you're outside and your hair starts to do this, run and find shelter immediately. Because this is a sign lightning is about to strike right where you are. Number 2, if you're stuck in a falling elevator, do not jump or try to pry open the doors. You want to lay flat on your back on the floor. This position will give you the best chance of survival because it distributes the impact across your whole body. Number 3, if you're stuck in a sinking car, do not try to open the door. The water pressure against the door will be too strong and will not allow you to. You want to undo your seatbelt and roll down your window as fast as you can because this will allow you to escape.
Here are 7 facts you need to know today. Let's start off with the fact that the average person walks the equivalent of 5 laps around the world in their lifetime. Yeah, that means you, time to get those steps in. Globally, only 2% of people actually have green eyes. And it is considered the most attractive eye color. So basically, send this to someone who has green eyes. Domino's are currently trialing drones for their delivery process. That's right, instead of a guy rocking up in a car with your pepperoni passion pizza, you've now got a drone. Coming up, to your window. TGI Friday promotion called Mobile Mistletoe used a drone to fly mistletoe around the restaurant to random customers. This was a really cool idea until one service when the drone flew into a customer's nose. This person became the Van Gogh of noses, if you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is drones, if flown correctly, are a lot of fun. And if you're planning on getting a drone anytime soon, there are cheap options to start with. Banggood actually offer insane prices on drones, as well as literally everything else you can think of. The link is in my bio, and thank me later. Finally, in 1673, the Big Apple, New York, was known as the Big Orange. Elon!
The Big Orange? When the hell they changed the name to the Big Apple?
Weird ass facts that I know for some reason. Most Koreans have a genetic mutation called ABCC11, which makes their sweat odorless. If you ate a polar bear's liver, you would literally die because there's way too much vitamin A for a human to handle. If you ever find yourself seeing an anteater doing this silly T-pose, get the fuck away, because that is their way of warning you that they're about to claw your eyes out. On average, around 2,195 children die from diarrhea every single day. That is more than AIDS, measles, and malaria combined. Around 95% of whale semen is dumped into the ocean during mating season. You actually have a lot more in common with gorillas than you think. For instance, the average length of a gorilla's schlong is 2 inches.
He just tried to cook everybody, bro. Who was? Why is he trying to cook people, bro? And I never knew that fact about damn diarrhea. All the other ones combined, man. That's how people go out.
Me and Yamao just get cheated on because the video that is going viral is striking god-level fear into every man's heart right now. Although Lamin never publicly said it was official, he brought Alex Panella out after he won the Euros final. And just a few days ago, they went on holiday together in Greece. So, yeah, they were probably dating. But then, last night, a live stream went viral showing Alex with a group of friends. And at the start, yeah, it didn't seem like much. Then, a couple minutes later, this brother filming raises the phone and shows her either sat on another guy's lap or at least very close. Almost immediately, she smacks the phone out of the guy's hands and says this in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. Someone translate in the comments, please. Now, let's be honest. This isn't proof that she cheated or that they've even broken up. But this morning, they no longer follow each other on Instagram. And guys are now saying that if Lamin could get cheated on, none of us are safe. And that she fumbled the bag. She fumbled generational wealth for the love of the game. But if we do get any actual confirmation, I'll let you guys know. These are creepy facts.
You know what happened.
That are
They ain't loyal.
disturbing. Part 1. Up first, you breathe in dead skin every single day of your life. This is because the dust in your house is actually 50% dead skin, which is from yourself and family. So next time you're around your house and you see dust, just know that's 50% dead skin.
Next up, your eyeballs are a part of your brain. Your eyeballs are so close and connected to the brain that they're considered a part of the brain. This is absolutely mind-blowing, and I never knew this. Finally, death of an old age is not a real thing at all. You can't die of old age, only by the diseases brought on by old age. Up first, your belly button is an ecosystem. There are at least 2,300 distinct different species of bacteria living in your belly button. So next time you're in the shower, make sure to wash your belly button because I know you definitely forget. Next up, did you know spicy food literally tastes like a burn? When tasting spiciness, the tongue is actually tricked, and your brain senses temperature. So that spicy feeling you feel whenever you eat spicy food, that's actually just your mouth burning. Finally, your brain can live without a body. The human head can stay conscious up to 20 seconds after being decapitated. Just imagine being decapitated and your head is just laying on the ground, and you can still hear, see, and think. That's what you call a living nightmare.
Left off. I pay very close attention from this rocket.
Okay.
Out of the bubble.
It's going.
Here we go. Watch this.
I don't see nothing weird. Yet.
Something really weird.
The trailers leaving behind? Is that what he's talking about?
What is that?
Oh, damn, what the Sonic Boom?
If anyone can explain what this is, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Stay weird.
See if I can help you learn something new today. There's only a 1-hour time difference between a place in Oregon and a place in Florida. As someone who has lived in both of those states, that is shocking because it's supposed to be 3 hours. In Florida, part of the panhandle is in the central time zone, and in Oregon, the very east side of it is in the mountain time zone. There was a woman that was once arrested for sending 159,000 text messages after her first date. She did that apparently in 10 months. In less than a year? Yeah, that's about 500 text messages a day. Are you just like texting one character at that point? Many of the texts were graphic, including some threatening to end the man's life in unspeakable ways. Oh boy. She even broke into his home and was found by the police taking a bath in his house. How did he not block her faster? It took me longer than I'd like to admit to realize that the moon was always facing Earth. I just never knew that for a long time. But if you live in Bora Bora and are watching this, go outside. You see the moon upside down compared to how we see it in North America because of the position of the Earth. Now it'll, so simple. Now you know.
Get out of here! There's a guy outside, look!
He's just standing there, bro. I don't like the vibe he's giving off.
When was the last time you saw Mandy Moore? Why do I ask? Because she was out recently at an event, and she was unrecognizable, leading some fans to question, has Hollywood claimed another celebrity? If you haven't seen the photo, take a look at this. Who is that? That's supposed to be Mandy Moore. That's not the Mandy Moore I remember. This is more like the Mandy Moore we all remember. Here are some images of Mandy Moore throughout the years. But who is this in this photo? Is that Mandy Moore? Don't get me wrong. If that is Mandy Moore, I still believe she looks incredible, but unrecognizable. Here are a couple of Mandy Moore's album covers that you might recall. We all remember this. This photo of Mandy Moore was taken not too long ago. So who is this Mandy Moore right here? The question needs to be asked. Has Hollywood claimed another celebrity?
Another one?
As I always say in all of my videos, People age and people can change.
Yeah.
But what happened with Mandy Moore? Has Hollywood claimed another celebrity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Here's some of the most disturbing things that have been found in fast food. In December of 2010, a Hawaii-based soldier named Clark Bartholomew was eating a triple stacker from Burger King when he bit into a syringe that made his tongue bleed. He was later hospitalized for 6 days after doctors found another needle in his small intestine, and Bartholomew later sued the company. When you think of a Happy Meal from McDonald's, you most likely think of the toys that McDonald's put in their boxes for the kids to play with. But in 2009, a 7-year-old Swiss girl opened her Happy Meal and found a condom in her bag of fries. The mother called the police to report the disturbing find, and what's even stranger is the McDonald's in question in Switzerland has refused to comment on the severe health hazard that had taken place.
Governments around the world are not ready for Gen Z protests. And here's why. This week, there's been even more. In Madagascar, following several days of major nationwide Gen Z protests, the country's president conceded and was forced to dissolve the government. In his address to the country, he added that he now wants to hold talks with young people who are demanding an end to the constant water and power cuts. Happening at the same time in Morocco, protests, largely organized by a group called Gen Z 212, have rocked the country for a 4th consecutive night. The anonymous group have used apps like TikTok, Discord, and Instagram to gather support and are demanding reforms to hospitals and schools which they claim are being neglected by the government, all while billions are flowing into preparing to host the World Cup in 2030. But the protests in Morocco and Madagascar follow the rise of Gen Z protests before them in countries like Nepal, Kenya, Indonesia, the Philippines, and many more. And they all serve as proof that Gen Z are now fully here. A new generation is now actively shaping political and social discourse. But Gen Z have a powerful tool that many generations before them didn't have. Social media. Millions can now organize and rally around a cause faster than we have ever seen before. And not only that, but because of its global reach, these youth-led movements are learning from one another. Many around the world share similarities in strategies like decentralized leadership, the rapid circulation of digital content, and now even the use of shared cultural symbols. The thing is, it's only just begun.
Something is going on with Ice Spice. Y'all, this shit is crazy. I looked at the video, I'm like, what do y'all notice about this picture? In this video, I'm gonna show you, you can see her walk up, and I don't know, y'all, it just looked weird to me. Something looked like it wasn't clicking up top, like she was up out of there for a couple seconds. She was lost in reality. Maybe I'm tripping. But y'all tell me what y'all observed.
Okay.
Did y'all peep the way she walked up? Hold up, you ain't catch it? Watch it again. Look at this part. Stop being little, you know.
You know, I should just pay attention to the cameras.
Also, another thing. Look at her back, y'all. What the fuck is going on? The video is even crazier. Watch her back. Look at her back, y'all. What's going on, fool? Am I tripping? Am I the only one that noticed this shit? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
He did. He was sentenced to 4 years in jail. That's right. Only 4 years for all those witnesses and all the evidence they found. On top of this, since he's been in custody since September of 2024, he's already getting a year off of his sentence for that. They acquitted him of the racketeering and the sex trafficking charges back in July. What they did end up charging him with, though, is the transportation of former girlfriends to engage in. Those are 2 very, very lesser charges compared to the other ones that he was being charged with. After he gets out, he has 5 years of supervised probation. I find this baffling with the baby oil, assaulting multiple women and everything like that. Only 4 years. A lot of people are calling this case unconstitutional, but he really just had a good lawyer at the end of the day. He did all of those crimes, don't get me wrong. It might not say it on paper, but he definitely did all of those crimes. And I also believe that he should be put away for a lot longer than 4 years for all the suffering he's caused to people. At the end of the day, if you have a good lawyer, you can get away with stuff like this. And this guy has a lot of money, so that's what happened in this case. This is why celebrities usually just get a little slap on the wrist when they do stuff like this. It's horrible. What do you guys think about this?
Which I expected, man. That sentence in, bro, did he only got 4 years. I remember all this stuff when all the bombshells dropped. I thought it was like crazy. 4 years, I wasn't expecting that. Now, I know what was going to be the outcome, but I wasn't expecting that. So I don't know how people feel.
So Cool Kicks was selling fake shit? Why am I just finding out that the founder of Cool Kicks got arrested? That they raided their shit and locked him up.
Damn.
But it was only a matter of time. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Chat? What the fuck was that? What is that?
You selling fake shoes, bro?
Chat? I don't know what the fuck is happening. Did somebody swat us? I'll be back, chat.
You mean to tell me all these years, all these sneakers, all this money, and they've been selling fake shit? If you don't know, the FBI raided Cool Kicks. So they've been rocking all this time, selling all that fake shit. Cool Kicks is the reason that sneakers are the prices that they are right now. They were selling kicks for triple, quadruple the price. These dudes was doubling up and bubbling up. And you mean to tell me that all that shit was fake? Oh yeah, it was about time they got arrested. These dudes probably been buying their sneakers from China and selling them. All fakes, all frauds, all counterfeits. Do you understand that? And selling them for 2 bands, 3 bands. Sneakers that they probably getting for fucking $50. This is crazy, man. I'm out.
Talking about this earthquake that
Can't trust
destroyed all of
nobody.
California. We're calling it the big one. But they're saying the cascading subjection zone, and they said it's about to go off.
Really?
But they're saying that when it goes off, it will be a 9.0 or higher.
Oh my gosh.
It's 4 minutes of continuous shaking.
Dude, that's just destroying a whole city.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. In 1994, the LA earthquake that happened, that was a 6.7 magnitude, but it caused over $50 billion in damage. It destroyed LA.
Dude, a 9.0 that's thousands of deaths.
Animals would be able to pick up on it 90 seconds before it happened.
Cool.
So they're saying all along the west coast, and we're talking about massive tsunamis, because it's in the ocean along the west coast. They would have about 10 to 30 minutes to reach higher elevation before this giant wall of water just came.
That's so terrifying.
So everyone on the west coast,
we're so sorry.
They're saying the one plate, instead of it like getting bound up, it's literally folding over on itself. It'll just be like big.
Oh my god.
So it's literally just like building all this tension.
That's called potential energy, and that would move this kinetic.
To my people who was naturally born with
Beware.
melanin in y'all skin, y'all are going to want to hear this shit. They are now getting melanin injections. And TikTok, this for entertainment purposes only.
We have been doing it.
I was thinking when you said that, you're looking very pale. So, this is all well and good. I mean, you have the, as you say, you've got the messy tanning products, and then you try the sunbeds.
Yeah.
And then there's the injections.
Look at her.
So, this is your brother, wasn't it?
Yeah, my brother.
So explain how this happened.
He just came in one day and was a completely different colour. Like, what actually happened? It was like, it was tannin injections, and then obviously we went and had to try them.
I don't have that much time on my hands to go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather lately, and I want to be tan by summer, so this is the safest and fastest way to achieve that. So this is my malaria tan vial. It will come in the mail and it looks like this. It does have to be refrigerated. We also will provide you with alcohol prep swabs and insulin needle. So you'll take the alcohol swab, wipe off the top, just so it's sterile. Uncap the top, you have a fine needle.
That's what we're doing, gang. We got melanin injections now. Yeah. Entertaining. Very entertaining. Let me know what y'all think about these melanin injections in the comments. Like or follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned.
You heard the Stussy theory? Stussy theory? No. I never told you this. The old Stussy logo, you know the S that we used to draw as kids? The reason we're so, like, programmed to write it, we had nobody knows where it came from, first off. The theory was, whoever made the simulation, that was their logo to let us know who it was that made it. That's their logo, or like their trademark to the simulation. And what's even weirder, you know how the Stussy has the jester? Yeah, a lot of people that have been on psychedelics and DMT study and say they exited the simulation, they all have the same very common occurrence of seeing an entity called the jester.
Really?
Yeah, one of the most prominent ones is a jester that like greets you. I'm so curious if the person that made the designs for Susie went on like a DMT trip or something, or seen the jester, got the idea for it. Weird shit.
Baby was just born holding his mother's IUD, and they're calling him the chosen one. So this is an IUD, and it's supposed to stop women from having babies, where an IUD has a 99.9% success rate, which means that there is a 0.01% chance that a baby is possible. Based on all the videos that I've seen so far of this baby, he looks like he is already conscious. He's holding this IUD up like it is a trophy, as if not only he knows what it is, that this baby took it out on purpose because he has a more bigger meaning in life, and that this baby is supposed to be here. Because based on every possible medical statistic, this baby was not supposed to be born. However, there was a higher call for this baby, because other than abstinence, IUD is the #1 birth control out there, and every doctor was saying that this IUD was still perfectly intact, and that by some miracle, the baby was born. And now a lot of people are nervous for the mom, thinking that the baby is going to turn on her, and that in a few years when the baby realizes that his mom never wanted him, that the baby will use his powers and turn against his mom, and that the mother needs to watch out. Think that this baby will ever turn on his mother?
There's a battle going on in the heavens, y'all. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Because the Bible told us about this. They told us about times like this, these times where we would be seeing these type of entities coming out of the sky. Now, here's what a lot of you guys may be talking about, right? Project Bluebeam. Now, I feel as if Project Bluebeam solely isn't our government trying to manipulate and lie to us, that what we are seeing could possibly be an illusion. I truly believe that in this new age of AI, there's a lot of people that are creating the opportunity to keep people in fear as well too, by creating content as this, y'all. Tell me why 11,000 people thought that this thing was real. Y'all seen this thing, man? I truly believe that our phones are part of Project Bluebeam, y'all. Think about it. Think about it. Because our phones constantly emit out a blue light. Blue beam, right? And then you have AI and CGI videos flooding our feeds, designed to manipulate and mislead our emotions. It's not about the sky, y'all. The sky is just the bigger picture. You get it? First, they need to trap your perception through these phones, and then the rest is easy. But how many of you guys fell for it? I knew you guys like, oh my God, they're here. The horsemen are here. Let me know that in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Y'all see it. Y'all feel it. Let's get it. Peace in.
So with the Project Bluebeam, man, when you was putting together with the phone, it wasn't hitting me until just now. How people can use AI and stuff to kind of throw people off the scent. People just think it's fake, but man, AI is getting more and more realistic, bro. In a couple years, you probably can't even tell the difference. That's what's really scary. You just have videos floating around, you don't know what's real or fake. It confuses the public.
The government is still shut down. I have a question for you. You think it's okay to work for free? This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. If you don't understand the rules to the Matrix, you will always be asleep. They are trying to tell you something without telling you something. Open this up. Once you understand Marine, Admiralty, Maritime, X, everything will make sense. But remember, the spell is hidden inside of the language. Look at the letters. Marine starts with an M, Admiralty starts with an A, Maritime starts with an A, X starts with an A. When you put those letters together, you get the word mama. The reason why they say we live in a whore of Babylon is because they made Mother Earth. Every time they say the government is going to shut down, it's going to be a war, fear, our energy go right into the sea. Or I should say back into mama's womb. The only portal on this planet is the goddess. The universe made every spirit and every soul goods and services. But when the pirates came, they changed everything. Yes, these life forms are pirates. They are using magic in the water or water magic. I'm going to come back to this. So the real question is, should we work for free? Do we even understand the system? If you ever listen to music, you are listening to music notes. If you want to write something down, you write it on a note. That's why they call money promissory notes. These notes is really our frequency. They are making us move left, right, up and down. They are controlling our vibration. But if you look at the word promissory, you will see promise, sorry, Pay attention to the language. These people will give you all kind of promises and they will break your heart. Then they will say, sorry, because it's just a promise, sorry note. The note is your frequency. You know how when people go to church, they got to pay their tips? Well, it's not really tips. It's the tithes of the seed. And the reason why they have to pay 10% is because 1 and 0 is the matrix code. 10%, 1, 0, the percentage, another 1 and 0, 1 and 0, life, death, man, woman. They turned their goddess into the whore of Babylon. Everything is about good prices and deals. Once you understand what a merchant is, everything will make sense. When you look at the word merchant, you have to understand that mer means sea in French, and chant means magic spells. So these people are putting rituals inside of the water. And since we are 85% of water, they are putting spells on us. This is a Tinder, and this is another Tinder. You can always check out my ebook if you want to know more. The link is in my bio.
There are 1,700 new millionaires in America every day. There are already 25 million people in the United States that are millionaires today. This means that 7.5% of the United States is a millionaire. Singapore has the world's highest percentage of millionaires in their country, with almost 20% of the entire country having more than $1 million US. Annual supply of water bottles can cost up to $200 a year, while tap water will only cost you 33 cents. King Charles made $34 million in rent income last year. Walt Disney fired the creator of Goofy because he tried to start a union. Money laundering wasn't a crime in the United States until 1986. Due to how much money they generate, 42 buildings in New York City have their own zip code. When we're tempted to buy something, thinking about how many hours it's going to take to afford that thing usually helps us stop.
You spitting, bro. You about to buy something important? Think how many hours, man, go down the drain getting that unnecessary purchase, man. Also, Singapore, bro, 20% as a millionaire, man. Shoot, I might have to move there, bro. Man, my child, I need to crack that. I'm trying to get into that millionaire percentage. That's insane, man. That 20% over there has millionaires. Crazy.
If you are a family influencer or post your child on social media, here are a few things you should never do in my own opinion. Number 1, might be common sense, but never post your child in a bathing suit. It's disgusting how many of these Instagram accounts exist that just solely share these types of photos and even have their own groups and communities, so just don't. Number 2, having your very young child's own Instagram page. For example, the LeBrant family. They have an Instagram account for each of their very young children, and just because it's managed by mom and dad does not mean it stops thousands of sick individuals from following the account and using their photos for exploitation. Number 3, AI-generated photos are becoming more and more realistic, so think about that before you post a picture of your child eating, crying, or honestly doing anything. When it comes to this type of inappropriate content, people will do anything to get a photo. Honestly, as someone who has talked about true crime stories for over 3 years, I highly suggest to never post your kid on social media. If you have other tips, please comment that down below.
Let's talk about this brave man whose life was taken while he tried to protect his family at the Trump campaign rally. On July 13th, the 50-year-old Corey Comprador, his wife and 2 daughters attended the rally in Pennsylvania where Trump was speaking. The family sat on the stand right behind Trump when less than 10 minutes into the speech, the shooting began, and while Trump was hit in the right ear, 3 other people were also hit. These are 2 of the 3 victims, David Dutch and James Copenhaver. They were in critical condition but are expected to recover. Unfortunately, 50-year-old Corey did lose his life while he tried to protect his family. His wife Helen and his 2 daughters said that he died a hero, and the last words that he said to them was to get down before he threw them to the floor and covered them. Corey worked as a project and tooling engineer and was a firefighter of the Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Company. After this tragic and sad incident, over $4.7 million has been donated to the victims, with Elon Musk donating $100,000 as well as Dana White and Kim Rock.
These are 8 horrifying facts
Madness,
that will
man.
probably keep you up at night. Sometimes you laugh, talk, and cry in sleep. It's often a spirit sitting beside you in bed. You are more likely to be bitten by someone in New York than to be bitten by a shark.
What?
A human head remains conscious for 20 seconds after being decapitated. If you search up this number on Google, you'll find people with their heads in fridges. Gelatin is made out of bones. That's right. The melted marshmallow in your hot chocolate is melted animal bone. It's good stuff. You have no way of really knowing if everyone experiences reality and consciousness the same way you do. If a panda finds a fresh carcass, they'll eat it. And last but not least, your phone is likely spying on you right now as you're watching this. Yeah, there's a lot more. Like for part 8.
What facts got to y'all, man? It's about the gelatin and the marshmallows for me. That was an edit.
Nearly ended up in the hospital, and not for any reason you think. Shout out to Nat Geo for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna change the way you look at sharks in less than 60 seconds. Let's get it. The author of Jaws, Peter Benchley, not only did he regret writing the book because of all the bad PR to sharks, he would dedicate the rest of his life to shark conservation. If Jaws were written today, the shark would be the victim. The Greenland shark is a slow burn glacier guppy that can not only live for up to 400 years, they don't hit baby making age until 150. 150, dude, and still young. Now, there's more than 500 types of sharks, so it's easy to miss one, like the chain cat shark, which happens to glow in the dark that's biofluorescence. The epaulet is a shark that disrespects the natural order by walking, using pelvic and pectoral fins to move around during low tide. Sharks use a type of camouflage called counter shading, meaning if you're above them, they blend into the dark abyss, but if you're below them, their light underbelly gets lost in the light of the sky. When you've been around longer than trees, nature gives you perks like that. That's Anthony Mackie. It is, and he and Ross Edgley and many more will be a part of National Geographic Shark Fest airing on Disney Plus and Hulu. Check it out if you're ready to see sharks be anything but the bad guy. Oh, that's right.
Not me, bro. He's going into underwater with sharks. Even with the cage, man, I do not trust that one bit. I'm sorry, Seekers. That's just me.
I wasn't lying. The sharks are fine, but the ocean slammed me against the bars of the cage like it owed me money. So, moral of the story, I'm not afraid of sharks, just the ocean around it.
This is why you should never take walks alone at night. In 2007, a girl was on a late-night walk when she looked at the end of the road and saw the silhouette of a man moving around very strangely. It was like he was doing the waltz, but he was moving towards her. So she was sketched out, crossed the road, and went the other way. After a couple minutes, she turned around to see what he was doing, and he was right across the street from her, now staring up into the sky with a huge grin on his face. Now totally creeped out, she turns around and walks about a half block before checking again, and to her horror, he's now crouched down right behind her. But luckily, he stands up, turns around, and kind of hobbles away. And then she notices something. The man had turned around and was now sprinting directly towards her. She runs to safety and now just hopes she never has to see that smiling man again.
Smiling man? We believe that story,
These are
Seekers?
scary facts about popular childhood movies, part 1. Next up, in the movie The Adventures of Milo and Otis, it's been reported that upwards of 20 cats were killed during the filming of the movie.
What?
There's a lot of speculation behind this, because the film somehow got the approval of the American Humane Society, despite not having their officers present during filming.
Whoa, man. We knew these freaking movies and TV shows had dark history, but I didn't know it was that dark. All those cats, man, just for a movie? You gotta watch what we pay attention to, man. These movies and shows. It's like it's always a dark origins behind them.
These are some extremely unsettling facts, and I found all of these on Reddit. Do you remember the movie A Land Before Time? Well, if you do, of course you remember this loving character, Ducky. Ducky was just adorable, that's literally it. But the backstory of the voice actor that plays Ducky is absolutely terrifying. The voice actor who played Ducky was actually killed by her extremely abusive father. During 9/11, we all know that a lot of emergency workers actually gave their lives trying to save people. But there was also a lot of dogs that did the same thing. So these dogs were going around trying to rescue people, but all they were finding were dead corpses. And this literally made the dogs depressed. So seeing this as a solution, a lot of the police officers and firefighters would bury themselves in rubble just so that the dogs would be able to find them and be able to rescue someone. Rattlesnakes are actually evolving to not have a rattle anymore. If they were to do this, they would become one of the more deadly snakes on Earth because they would lose the one thing that let us know where they are. So if you live in an area where there's a lot of rattlesnakes, I'd be careful because one could be lurking around and you won't even know anymore. But I'm sorry for you to make you think about that, but that's why.
Evolution, man. It's a scary thing.
This is why you should be scared of Ouija boards. A former Reddit user said that he used a Ouija board with results and let something into his home. He said that he has also been physically assaulted by this entity. He said that it started out with a feeling that he was being watched, doors closing and footsteps on the hardwood floor when he was home alone. All of this slowly progressed into being kept awake by something shaking the bed and pulling off the covers. He said that sometimes he even heard whispers of his name. The board would disappear for days on end and then show up in places that he never even put it. He became obsessed with it. Things got even worse though. He said that he began to see a black mass in the corner of the room and the silhouette of a man watching him from the doorway. One night, the paranormal activity escalated into a full-blown attack. He said that he had his hair pulled, fingers pricked, and that he was choked while being held down in bed. During the attack, he claims that this thing whispered into his ear in what could have only been Latin. After this event, he finally decided to have his house blessed, and fortunately, this entity hasn't shown back up. He said that he will never again play with one of those boards.
This is the case of
Not
the
me.
girl that vanished into thin air. Her name is Yuki Onishi.
On April 29th of 2005, 5-year-old Yuki was out celebrating Greenery Day with her mother. It's a national holiday in Japan, and what they do is they go out, they celebrate nature, and they collect bamboo shoots. So Yuki, her mom, and 60 other people were out doing this. Yuki was so excited that she found her first bamboo shoot, she showed her mother, and then she ran off to find more. That's when she disappeared and was never seen from again. When they realized that she was nowhere to be found, they actually brought in search dogs and the police. This is where it gets really strange. The dogs followed her scent to the middle of the forest and then just stopped. The scent stopped in the middle of the forest as if she had just disappeared into thin air from that spot. To this day, she has never been found and no one knows what happened. If you want to hear some theories, come back for part 2.
Do you remember this
Scary.
horror game that no longer exists? Let's talk about a terrifying horror experience that was taken off the web. Hotel 626. More obscure horror games right here. This game is an example of lost media and the images are a little blurry, so bear with me. Hotel 626 is a horror game that was actually made by Doritos for a marketing campaign. You go through a series of disturbing events that take place inside of a hotel while you try to escape. But the name of the game actually means more than you might think. The 626 in the game's title stands for the fact that this game was only playable between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. every day.
Really?
Meaning you had to play this game at night. There was no other choice. Now, I did some research and there really is no way to play this game today. Luckily though, footage does still exist on YouTube, so at least we have that. Hotel 626 actually made enough of an impact that it received a sequel called Asylum 626, but we'll talk about that later.
It's lost medias, man. I wonder why did they take it down, bro? It was made by Doritos. It wasn't even like a regular game company. We're gonna have to go through that rabbit hole, Seekers, man. Figure out why it got taken down. That's eerie. That's an edit.
Interesting people you've never heard of. This man attempted to dribble a soccer ball 10,000 miles from Seattle to Brazil, but unfortunately lost his life after being hit by a pickup truck only 250 miles in. Disney co-founder Roy Disney went to Disneyland every single week with his grandchildren, greeting employees by name and picking up trash to teach them the lesson that nobody is too good to pick up trash. This woman sat at a table in a New York museum for 736 hours over 3 months, allowing anybody to come up and sit across from her and make eye contact with no speaking. This French
Why?
woman was imprisoned by her family for 25 years in the late 1800s without seeing any sunlight. This man smashed the door of a cupcake store, sat for 15 minutes and thought about what he did, cleaned up his mess in regret, and then stole 6 cupcakes. The store owner saw everything on camera. Instead of pressing charges, he created a signature cupcake after him.
I want to go ahead and I want to discuss this Instagram story and what makes this diabolically creepy. So I'm not going to give the name. I blocked everything out because clearly they want to remain anonymous. Context is that somebody clearly broke into their old school. I don't know if it was their middle school, high school, whatever it was. And they posted this to their story, but pretty soon after, people started commenting about what they see in the background. You zoom in just a little bit, you would see that this person was not alone in that classroom. But before we take a deeper look at that photo, a huge thank you to Spyfly for bringing me this story. If you want to look up something about somebody, you go to Spyfly. How to become this one-stop shop where you can do background reports, you can look at arrest records, you can even do reverse phone lookup. Spyfly.com is going to be the place to do it. You can check the link in my bio for more detail. So back to this photo. I don't know if you can see this, but there is definitely somebody crouching in the background of this classroom. And if you still doubt me, I zoomed in and enhanced the picture for you.
Disturbing facts.
Somebody was definitely
that may ruin
dead.
your day. This woman passed away in her home while watching TV and was not discovered for 3 years. Girls at a nearby camp danced in the falling white ash of the atomic trinity test when it was happening. 10 out of 12 of the girls that danced in the ash passed away before the age of 40. This man donated $100,000 to UCLA to bypass a queue for a liver transplant. 186 people in the Los Angeles area passed away waiting for this same surgery. This woman survived after her parachute failed to deploy just days after surviving a gas leak at her house. Both events were found to be intentional plots carried out by her husband. Hitler had a romantic obsession with his teenage half-niece. All of the members of your group chat will eventually pass away, leaving the group to just exist forever. We are one convincing deep fake away from a global catastrophe.
You guys believe that last fact? AI's getting advanced, so it's not out of the question.
Wait. You don't remember what she looks like?
September 25th, 1981, something very strange took place up in the Smoky Mountains. This is a picture of Pauline Melton, and it would end up being one of the last known photos of her. Because while Pauline was up there, she was with 2 hiking companions. They described that she, all of a sudden, without explanation, just started to rapidly speed up. They even described that they called out to her. They were asking, "Pauline, where are you going? Pauline." She never answered. She never looked back until she crossed over a hill. Since that exact moment, Pauline was never seen again. And to this day, they still have no idea where she went and why she did it.
Terrifying true facts that will keep you up at night, part 2. Most people would consider ducklings to be relatively harmless and innocent creatures, but they can be more sinister than you might realize. When a group of ducklings starts to feel overcrowded, aggravated, or even just bored sometimes, they will often turn to cannibalism to solve their problems for them. This is a characteristic that they share with other animals we tend to regard as being cute, such as chickens and bunny rabbits. And speaking of cute, let's talk about babies. Up until the mid-1980s, doctors would routinely operate on infants without the use of anesthetics. This is because it was thought that babies couldn't experience pain. Also in the 1980s, CNN pre-recorded an ominous video meant to be published in the event of an end-of-the-world scenario. Comment if you think that video will be published during your lifetime, and follow for more.
What do you guys think? CNN made a whole freaking doomsday video. It makes you think what other freaking big media company corporations, man, have doomsday videos just ready for us. Hopefully, man, we never see that in our lifetime.
Creepy people who were caught on camera PT.1.
Yeah, why he lurking? No. Yeah, what the hell? Another one. She can see. They know her? They knew something was up and they left. They felt that energy, Mo. What was that running to him?
Creepiest home camera footage PT.3.
Whoa. It's definitely Crouch, man. Hmm? Shot collar was stolen. Why? Yeah, that's chilling. A man breaks into the house. You don't find no
This
trace of him.
priest tied himself to 1,000 colorful helium balloons and then was found in the ocean months later. On April 20th, 2008, 41-year-old Father Adiller DeCarli wanted to raise money to build a chapel in his hometown, so he chose to tie himself up to 1,000 helium balloons and float over the ocean. He also hoped to break the previous 19-hour record, but unfortunately, things ended tragically. On the morning of April 20th, Father Adiller was fully repaired to take off, and for safety reasons he put on a helmet, waterproof coveralls, and an aluminum thermal flight suit, as well as a GPS tracker and a radio to communicate with people on the ground. Only a few hours after taking off, despite the radio and GPS tracker, Father Adiller disappeared and could not be located. The last thing that he said through the radio was that he was losing height and was going to land in the ocean. Search and rescue teams were immediately dispatched, and after 2 days they found the colorful balloons in the sea off Brazil's southeast coast, but Father Adiller was not there. Then, a few months later, a body was found in the ocean, which turned out to be him. It was reported that the priest had reached an altitude of 20,000 feet and then was blown off course by the strong winds, causing his tragic death.
So with the amount of people that pass away in hospitals,
insane.
It's no surprise that they're reportedly full of a lot of paranormal activity. Some people even say that when there are many deaths occurring in a certain area, portals are opened up. And as these souls exit this world, other things, entities, creep in. A nurse who wants to remain anonymous said that she used to work in a skilled nursing facility. She was usually assigned the Alzheimer's ward. One night, she was in the linen room stocking her cart, and she heard someone shuffle up behind her. Then, she said she felt a hand on her shoulder. She turned around, and there was no one else in the room. A female patient started to complain that there was a man coming into her room late at night. Anonymous said that she was in the Alzheimer's ward, so she didn't think much of it. To reassure the patient, she told her that she would come check on her throughout the night. She complained of this man every night for 2 more weeks. The nurse finally asked her to describe him, and the patient said, "He's real handsome, and he wears a black suit. Oh, and he's right behind you now, honey." The nurse said that this freaked her the F out. Of course, there was no one behind her. The patient died the next night in her sleep. So these nurses and doctors really do have a lot of great supernatural stories, and I don't know what to think about that one, because she was, like she said, in an Alzheimer's ward, and Alzheimer's patients can hallucinate. But the nurse did say that when she heard someone shuffle up behind her, she also felt a hand on her shoulder. And I don't know, guys, this story is pretty creepy. The patient described the man as being in all black, yet very handsome. I know that the Grim Reaper is conventionally described as being in like a hooded cloak, but could this have been the Grim Reaper? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments.
Imagine getting this mad because your bubble tea was made wrong. Police were called to this bubble tea place after this grown man had a meltdown because his bubble tea tasted too bitter. He got so mad that he threatened to throw the drink at the worker and said some very offensive stuff in Korean. Then he tried to force the worker to drink the bubble tea that he just finished putting in his mouth.
You know the reason why I'm here. You know, I do. And I explained. It was so bitter to drink. I will explain. And could you check this? Could you try this? I told her, but she rejected.
Hey, first off, there's no reason to act like this over a drink. You're a grown man.
This is the worker, and she tried to find a solution by offering to make him a new drink or give him a refund, but this man was so mad, he didn't want any of that. He just wanted to fight. The workers ended up calling the police because this man was getting pretty aggressive, and when the police arrived and heard both stories, they were upset because this man was acting like a baby over a drink. Then this man called his daughter so that she can better explain the situation because there was a language barrier, and you would think that she had more common sense, but it seems that common sense does not run in this family because she was blaming the workers for everything.
There's bigger things in life to worry about than a damn drink that's bitter enough.
I know, sir, you're really discounting our shit.
But if then you go to another location, if I go to a restaurant and they offend me, I'm just not going to bring my business
I know,
in.
that's how you handle your problem. And this is how
You can't come in public and then cause a disturbance.
Sir, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I understand that he was offended. You know, he may seem like really offensive, and you apologize. Okay, but when someone is really worked up, and there's no de-escalation of the problem, because they're not apologizing for the service, then we only get really upset.
Okay, but he's got to be in charge of his own emotions.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like the drink, then take the refund and don't come back. It's simple. It's so frustrating to see the entitlement and lack of awareness of these people. I felt so bad for this worker. She broke down in tears and apologized to this man so many times, but he wasn't satisfied and just wanted to continue to fight. It's so frustrating to see this, especially because she's working at a bubble tea place. She probably gets paid minimum wage and she has to deal with people like this.
What's up about bubble tea, really? Come on, man. People have to be better, bro. Plain and simple. That's just wow. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support, man. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys follow me on my social medias down below. Hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I upload a video. And hit that like button, man. Help push us into this algorithm. Greatly appreciate the support. You guys are going to catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.